Hey everyone, good evening. I hope I'm audible. A very good evening to all of you who are present today. Yes, sir. Okay, good evening. Yes, sir. So, how are you guys today? Good evening, Tanish, Kumaha. Good evening, Sneha. Good evening, Bharat. Good evening. So, good evening to all of you. Okay, so I believe we are all set. So, let me introduce you to the trainer of the today's session. I hope you guys are prepared, huh? So, first of all, a very warm welcome to all of you guys and welcome to the Honeywell Future Skills Edge program. And of course, it is my pleasure to introduce today's artificial intelligence trainer, Anjali Bakshi. So she has over 5+ years worth of experience in emerging technologies and have successfully trained over 50,000 students across India in the domains such as artificial intelligence. So this program is a part of Honeywell flagship CSR initiative delivered in collaboration with IAICTE and the Directorates of Technical Education of Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Telangana, and of course, implemented by Bharat Cares. So, I believe we all are excited to have Anjali with us, right? So, be prepared for an interactive, insightful, and impactful session. So, Anjali, all over to you.
Hi everyone, good evening. Thank you Anmol for the warm introduction. Hi all, how are you? How are you guys doing today? Okay, so good evening, doing good. Good to know that you all are doing good. Let's start with the today's session. So before we begin, let's have a quick session hygiene rules which you already know, so I won't spend much of the time on this. So quickly highlighting main points. Do not share any personal information or sensitive info in the chat. Use the chat option for the session topics or for any queries you want to ask. And keep your mic muted if you are not speaking and actively participate throughout the session so that we can have an engaging and interactive session. Right, guys? So, are you guys ready? Okay, great. So, before we start, let's see what agenda we have for today. So today we will be first starting with the recap of what you have already discussed in the previous session. Then we will figure out what is supervised learning and what are the secrets behind supervised learning. Then we will understand the two powerful algorithms which is behind supervised learning. And then we will do a practical and a interactive demonstration with purely no code. Right? Okay, great. Okay, so let's move on to the first thing of today's session. There is a barcode on your screen. Quickly take out your phones, scan through the barcode, and fill out the form. Fast, everyone. And once done, mention in the chat. Mention in the chat that you are done with filling out the form. And I request everyone that please, if you are asking any query or you are responding, do mention in the chat for everyone. It would be great. Okay. Once you are done with the scan and filling out the form, mention done in the chat. Okay, I can see few of the done. Fast. 30 seconds more, then we will start. Okay, Zoya, got it. You have filled the form. Great. Okay, so let's start with the recap of the previous session. That introduction to machine learning. You have studied about supervised and unsupervised learning. You studied about Google Teachable Machine, in which you created a model using a bottle and a phone, right? With no code purely. So my first question is from you guys. What is machine learning? Fast in the chat, in one line. What is machine learning? Okay, I can see few responses. What do you understand by machine learning? Everyone, in one line. Making a machine intelligent by providing data to learn. Great. Learning from input and output. Great, Nisha. Okay, so I can see a number of responses. Great. Means you guys remember, you have a sharp memory, right? Okay. Next question. What was supervised learning? What is supervised learning? What is supervised learning? We provide the results while training. Ruturaj, correct. Great. Okay, so to give a brief about it, supervised learning was when we give questions and answers both, like a teacher gives questions and answers or teach to a student. That is supervised learning. We call it label data. And what is unsupervised? When we only give questions, like when you appear in the exam, you only give questions, no answers. That is unsupervised learning, right? So on the screen, now I would be asking you few questions and you would be telling me, is it a case of supervised learning or a unsupervised learning? Be active in the chat, everyone. So first scenario, an application group the customers into different types based only on their spending patterns. Everyone, is it a supervised learning or a unsupervised learning? Is it a supervised learning or a unsupervised learning? That an application, for example, Mintra, gives you a suggestion based on your purchase history that a luxury product is recommended to you or a medium range products are recommended. So, is it a case of supervised learning or unsupervised? Okay, I got few answers. Okay, great, great. Unsupervised, Nisha, right? Omkar supervised. Okay, so it's a mix of answers, guys. Okay, so let's see the answer. So it is a unsupervised learning, everyone. Why? Because here we are not giving any questions and answers. It is just whatever you are purchasing. Based on that, you are put into a category of high purchase customers or low purchase customers. So this is unsupervised learning. Kudos to the ones who gave the right answer. And every machine also makes some mistakes. So keep on learning. So the next scenario for you all. Which type of learning is this? When we train a model on many images labeled as apple and orange, and then we use that model to predict a new image is an apple or orange. What is it? Sneha, right. Supervised learning. What else? Okay, supervised. Omkar, supervised. Okay. Let's see the answer. So it is supervised learning. Great. So the last is this. If I am creating a system wherein I can predict a new student will pass or fail based on the past data. So what you think is a supervised learning or unsupervised learning? Okay, supervised. Supervised. Okay, so we have n number of answers. Let's look at the answer. So it is a case of supervised learning. Why? Because here it is clearly mentioned we are giving a label based on the previous data we are categorizing that if the student has this much marks, he or she has passed or he or she has failed. So that was a quick activity. Now, the first activity for you guys, there is a scanner on the screen, scan the barcode and see what is waiting for you. Everyone, scan the barcode on the screen. I am also opening the same link. You will see when you have scanned the barcode, you may see this type of screen, face detection. And what is this? Face detection. Okay, let's see. Face detection. Now, this is a machine where if I upload any image, it will help me to recognize if in that image there is some face present or not. How amazing it is, right? So let's test it. You can scan the QR code and you can use your images in the gallery and check. For example, I have a car image. Let's see what prediction we get. Sorry. Will this machine recognize correctly? Yes, it did. No faces found. Great. Okay, let's test with some other image. Uh, this image. Let's see what we get. Face has been detected. Great. Okay, the last image. Again, the face has been detected. So what you guys have concluded from this? What everyone, all of you have concluded from this? What this machine is doing, basically. Did you try? If you have tried, mention done in the chat. Or tried. Uttaraj, done. So see how accurately a machine can detect faces from the images also. And you see the major thing, what is happening? It is not only detecting the images of a person, but also images, face of any animal also. So how it is being done? It is only recognizing the patterns. What patterns? Whenever we have any face, what we have in the face, facial features, we have eyes, we have nose, we have ears, right? So any photo which has face, ears, nose is detected as a face. So see how the machine has learned from the patterns. Isn't it great? Okay, so let's move. Give me a minute. Okay. So the next thing on your screen, do you see predictions around you, everyone? Give me one application where you have seen prediction around you in the past 2 days. It could be anything. YouTube, right? Ruturaj, amazing. Others, Sneha, weather, great. Others, where you have seen the predictions around you. Everyone might have seen it, even today also. Moksh, weather, okay. Okay, guys. So, see, what is this prediction? Means, have you ever noticed that if you search for something once on your PC, on your phone, or even just watch a few video, a YouTube video or a short of one topic, suddenly your entire feed changes. If I search shoes once, now shoes is everywhere, right? Now, if I watch a travel reel, now Goa everywhere, Manali everywhere. So, how does it happen? Any idea how does it happen? How it happens? Everyone. What do you think? How machines are able to know? How my phone is able to know that I am searching? I have searched for a shoe on a Mintra and same ad I am seeing on Instagram. How is it possible? Is your phone reading your mind? AI. Okay, Moksh. Moksh has answered AI. Google Ads. Okay. Gmail account. Nisha has answered. Okay. Zoa has seen the predictions on Netflix. Great. So, see, it doesn't happen a way that phone says that you like this thing, phone बोलता है कि इसको ये पसंद है, इसको ये दिखाओ. It doesn't happen this way, right? So this is not mind reading. This is basically pure pattern recognition. That and today in the whole session we will be decoding that how mobile understands us, how applications on the mobile understands us. So that is purely decoding the patterns on which machines are trained, right? Okay, let's move forward. So imagine you get a model which can predict something for you among the list given below. A stock price for tomorrow, your exam score, the chance of getting a loan, or temperature of Goa, or whether a new movie will be a hit or not. What you will choose for you to predict? What you want a model for you to predict? Okay, stock price for tomorrow. Okay, so you are interesting. Rituraj is interesting in stocks very much. Great. Others, what you will be predicting using the magic model you have. Stock price. Again, we have Tuba for stock price. Great. Okay. Exam score. Okay, scared of results. Nisha wants to go for a trip. Temperature of Goa. Great. Okay. So we have multiple things. Now we will be seeing that how like you get the stock price through many applications. Also we get weather recommendations when we search through the Google or through Google weather apps, or we can now check with the CIBIL score also through our Google Pay or different applications. So how these predictions are done, we will decode this today. So similarly, have you ever wondered that if I apply or you apply for a loan in the bank, how it gets approved or rejected in very few hours? Do you think that a person is sitting at the back end and rejecting and approving your loan? What do you think? How your loans are being rejected and approved? No, a person is not sitting, right, Dhruva? Okay, so right, a human is not sitting at the back end. We have a machines or the models trained for this. How they are being trained? They are being trained so that on the past data, that if I have few applicants, for example 100 applicants of data, were that customers into the category of approved loan or the rejected loan, and then that past data patterns are compared with the data of the new applicant, and wherever there is a more match, the new applicant falls into that category. This is how machine learns from patterns. Even your chat GPT learned from the patterns. It is upgrading slowly, right? Now, similarly, if we talk about, you discussed in the previous session, what about the applications of uh, ML, machine learning? So there were the applications in medical field also. So how doctors use machines? Any idea? How doctors use machines? Okay. Okay, great. So how doctors are using machine? To check for tumors or cancers through X-ray or other tests, right? Doctors using software. Okay. Okay. So basically, what doctors are doing right now or in medical field, whenever we go around for any diagnosis or any blood test, what happens? We are categorized into high risk or the low risk. And at the bottom, there is a written thing that we are diabetic or not, we are in the correct range, we are above our range. So that is a machine generated report. And how a machine knows that above 250, a person is diabetic, below 250, it is at no risk. So how it knows? Using again the same data that we have stored some data of the patients earlier and the answers also to it. That is how your supervised learning is being used in every field. Now, coming to the main topic of today, sorry, that is supervised learning. So, we already saw in many examples that how supervised learning is being used by giving where machine learns from the right answers, right? That machine is learning with the guidance of the correct answers, and we give the label data in that. Now, this is the example we have already discussed. I will move on to the next. This, be active in the chat, guys. For this, for example, I am coming as a new applicant to you to get my loan approved, and I have filled this data. Which data you would consider to approve or reject my loan? I have given salary, age, city, previous loan default, favorite color, and my Instagram followers. Which data you would consider, आप कौन सा data consider करोगे to approve my loan or reject my loan? Salary, Shivam, right? Salary, previous loan default, city, Ruturaj, right? Okay. Meghna also says salary. Okay, everyone will look about salary. City, age, previous salary, loan history. Okay, so yeah, salary, age for approval. Okay, great, great, everyone. So we will look at, mostly we will look at salary, city, previous loan, age, right? And what we will do after that, what output we have for this? Either approved loan or rejected loan, right? So the features, the input you will be giving to predict either the loan should be approved or not is called as the features in the technical terms. So these are the ingredients of your supervised learning. To make any decision, whatever input you take is the features. That is the information we give to the model. Like if I want to see that if Meghna will pass or fail, I will ask for the marks or in different subjects for Meghna, right? Similarly, whatever information you give to the model to get the prediction, that is features. Now, second thing, here we were looking at what was the output here. What was the output? What you were predicting here, everyone. What output you were predicting here, right? Loan amount, no. The question was approval of loan or rejection of loan. Loan, Meghna, right. Approved loan or not. Not approved or approved. Moksha, right. Loan approval, pass or fail. Shivam, right. Great. So, whatever we are predicting, that comes under the output stage, or we can say in technical terms, label. The answer we want, either pass, fail, price, a mail is spam or not, a person is diabetic or not, a loan will be approved or not, that is your out. And the third thing we have is the algorithm, that is the method by which a machine decides the prediction. Like right now, you were deciding it by your intuition or your mental power, right? So machine needs a algorithm. For example, I need to do a summation. What I will do? My two numbers will be my input. My summation would be my algorithm, and whatever I will get after is equal to, after doing the sum, will be my label, right? Okay, so enough of theory. Let's quickly scan this QR code and see what is waiting for you. Everyone, scan the QR code. You will land on a site and see what happens. Another activity, how a machine can give us the predictions. Let me open here also. Okay, so I think everyone has landed on this page, right? Scanned. Say yes in the chat if done. Done, Sneha. Okay. Sanidhi, done. Okay. So what we have here, let's see what a machine, how a machine can predict. For example, I want to predict. I am looking for a house, a new house. So what we usually do, we go to the broker for that. Now a broker can charge more also, a broker can charge less also, right? So how do we know if the broker is charging in the range? ब्रोकर हमसे ज्यादा पैसे नहीं ले रहा, हमें कैसे पता लगेगा? So there also now machines are helpful for us. See, I can give here a house age. Try giving a house age. House age means कि घर कितना पुराना है. For example, a particular house I am trying to buy is 10 years old. Number of bedrooms are 4 in that, and including living rooms and other rooms, there are 6 rooms. So if I do the predict button, it gives me the price in dollar. This is the predicted price. Now, how is it helpful in real life? Whatever the broker has suggested me the price, I can compare it with this price and see if the broker is not charging much or the broker is charging in the appropriate range, right? So now why it is in dollars? Because you can see this machine particularly is trained on California's data, not Indian currency, not India's data. So if see how you will learn, like if you will start questioning how to every machine you are using, you can build such machines for yourself also. This is how you will be AI oriented in the mindset, right? So everyone try this. Done, Nisha, done. Okay. Rituraj, done. Great. So again, let's see one more activity. Let me go back. Again, scan this QR code. After this, you the next thing which we will be discussing will be through these two activities which we have done. So whatever you are doing, do it carefully and remember what you are doing. Scan this QR code and see what you see on the screen. Ritika, done. Okay. If you are done with the previous one, scan this and try what we have. Let me open here also. Okay. So we have a bird classifier. Now see, now the person who has built this, might be they want the project or the machine to predict for them if they are speaking, means if they are birds in the image or not, right? So let's try this one also. We have a truck image. Let's try this. This is not a bird. Oh, it also shows the probability. See that what amount of percentage is the likelihood to be this bird. 0.01%, very less, right? So let's try with the bird. Okay, I have a bird image also. So this is a bird. It is 100% correct, right? So We have seen the bird, we have seen the truck, so we can recognize through the patterns that this is a bird, this is not a bird, or this is a truck, right? But how machines are doing it? So this is quite amazing that machines are already trained on number of images and can help us identify or do the predictions for us, right? Now we have gone through two activities. First was fries and second was if a bird, images of a bird or not, right? So in the first activity, what output you were getting? If you have done in seconds, in 1 second, mention in the chat. In the first activity, what was the output you got? Price. Okay. Means you have done actually. Okay. So in the second one, we got a bird or not, right? So see, our next topic is on this only, that if in the scenarios our machine is predicting a number, that is called as a regression type of learning. If a machine is giving us an output as a category of or a class, that is in the category of classification, or it is a classification type of supervised learning. Now the question from you guys. If I tell you to predict blood sugar level, is it a regression or a classification problem? Is it a classification or a regression problem? Ruturaj, regression. Regression, Dhruva. Okay. Meghna, regression. Neha, regression. Okay, I'm getting lot of responses as regression. Okay, means you have understood that based on the output, we have two types. One is regression, one is classification. Great, everyone. Okay, so let's move on to the next part. Here you can see that we have three things: features, output, label. We discussed about label, we've discussed about features. One thing that is left, that why features are important. If I talk here that
I believe there's a network issue, guys. Your voice is not audible, ma'am. Yes, that is correct. So there seems to be a network issue from Anjali's end. Yes, sir. Okay. So let's wait couple of minutes. In the meantime, if you have something to ask, any questions, any doubts, any queries, anything from your end. Okay, now you guys are writing me good evening, sir. Really great. I was here for a long time. And now you guys remember, okay, good evening, sir. No, sir, everything is clear. Ma'am is teaching in a very good manner. Okay. Anjali, are you back?
yeah, sorry, apologies everyone. There was a sudden disconnect.
It's absolutely fine, Anjali. The stage is all yours once again.
Thank you, Anmol. Okay, so we are back on the same thing which we were discussing. Okay, so I was asking from you if I was doing the prediction as you were doing, and if I would have considered favorite color, so would you get the good prediction? What do you think? What do you think? Would you get the good prediction? Ruturaj, why no? Or if I would consider, Nisha also no. If I would consider our Instagram followers 1200, which we look for if we watch a YouTube video, we look for how much subscribers are there, we look for how much followers are there, right? So for that, it is very important for us to know. But do you think that it is important for this purpose? No. Oh no. Okay. Okay. Great. The reason why it is not important is the reason why it is not important because for this particular case, that does not reflect his financial holding, Rituraj, right? So the reason is that these two features are not particularly important for the loan prediction. That is why we are not considering it. So we would say why features in are important because garbage in is equal to garbage out. So you should only consider good features to get the good prediction in your machines or in your models, right? So now we would again go to the algorithms. We have seen features, we have seen the two activities. Now let's look at the algorithms. So we have four types of algorithms in supervised learning: linear regression, decision tree, logistic, KNN. So for now, need not to worry. Don't see it as a complicated, uh, see it as a complicated thing. We would just discuss today logistic and KNN in a very simple way. So don't think it is complicated, right? Now let's move on to first algorithm, logistic regression. So, what is logistic regression? Most of the examples we have discussed till now is of logistic regression. Spam, not spam. Diabetic, not diabetic. Right? It is of logistic regression that whenever we are doing a prediction of yes no questions, that comes under the category of logistic regression. Right? So, let's see it. Now, the question is from you guys. I have three customers and I have some details of these customers: income, EMI, and past defaults. What do you think that which customer will be at risk for loan repayment? If I will be giving a loan, I need to see, right? मेरे को देखना पड़ेगा कौन रिस्की है, किसको लोन देना सेफ है या किसको लोन देना चाहिए, right? ऋतुराज, B, else, everyone else. What do you think? Which customer is at the highest risk? Or I should not give the loan to that customer. Sneha, customer B, B. Okay, lot of answers. B. Okay, right. So this is what your intuition says or what you think, right? So how machine thinks of the data we are giving of the customers. How machines think is the machine will give a score for all this data. For example, let's see, for the A data, machine is giving a score of 0.15. For B, a risk is too much, 0.90 means you were right. And for C, the risk is 0.55. Now again, the question is from you all that if I decide that if the risk is greater than 0.75, I would reject the loan. अगर 0.75 से नीचे है, मैं approve. I would give the loan. No worries. Right? So what do you think? Who will get the loan as rejected? Now, what do you think? Who will get the loan as rejected? B, right, right. B, customer B, right, right, Mox. So, why B? Because we have set a level that if the risk score is greater than 0.75, which is of customer B, its loan will be rejected, right? Now, the next scenario, if I change the probability score, if I change my rule, if I change the rule, I from 0.75, I have kept the boundary as 0.5. Now what? What do you think? Now, who will get the loan from me? Now, if a person who will get the loan, only A, right? So B and C would be in the rejected category, right? Right. A. Okay. Right. So why? Why this? So this 0.5, the 0.75, what is this? This is a boundary line which I have set because I have to give the loan, right? So this boundary is called as based on what? I am deciding a particular thing That is called as your threshold. That is called as your threshold level. So, for example, if you are a university student or when you were in universities or colleges, there are criteria in the universities that if you complete 80% of the attendance, you will sit in the exam. Otherwise, the university says you are not eligible to sit in the exams. Does it happen? Does it happen in your universities? Everyone. Okay, Nisha says yes. Okay, a lot of yes. So means everyone is facing the same thing, same rules, sort of, right? So that 80% criteria, what is that? That is basically a threshold which is set by your university or your college for you guys so that they can make the decision that you are eligible to sit in the exam or not, right? So how logistic regression basically works, it looks for the probability score and a threshold level. If the score is below that, it can be included. It above that, it cannot be included. That is how your logistic regression works, right? Now, a question from you all. If two banks use the same data, can they give different decisions? If these three customers, or let's say I go for to a SBI bank and to a PNB bank with my records, one approves my loan, other rejects my loan. Can this happen? What do you think? Yes. Why? Now the question, if it is yes, why? If it is no, why? In one line. Zoya answered it right. Different criteria, right? Have different thresholds, right? Okay. Okay. Yes, it can happen. In the case, both the banks have different criterias and different threshold. If SBI has decided my CIBIL score to be 700, and if it is above 700, I will get the loan approved. If it is below 700, I won't. But PNB has decided, Punjab National Bank has decided 500 as CIBIL score. So in that case, I need to cross 500. So that is the threshold which each bank has set, right? So that is your logistic regression. Hope it's clear. Now we will move on to the next KNN, that is K nearest neighbor. So what is K nearest neighbor is from the header you can understand. Nearest neighbor means, for example, leave this text, only focus on this diagram. For now, we have in the diagram some students as pass, some as failed, right? So if a new student comes in, I should put this student in the category of pass or fail. How can I decide that? Only by seeing, only by seeing that if the student is similar, his amount of study, the number of hours he or she is studying, the number of hours he is attending the lectures, how sincere he or she is, he is throughout the school day or college day, he or she is with past student or the failed students, I can guess that this student is not a sincere student or the student is a sincere student, right? They say in Hindi, we say Sankti ka asar, right? So this happens here also. So how K-nearest works, we will see it visually also. Scan this QR code fast and we will see the visual, how actually KNN works. Scan this QR code, guys, fast. Once you have scanned, mention done in the chat. Okay, let me also open this. So we will see what this is exactly. Okay, you might have landed on this page when you have scanned. So you can see when I click on decision boundary, I have two categories here. One is the people with blue dots, one is the category with red, and this is the boundary line. Now I will tell you what is this K value right now. You need not to worry. If I select K value as 1, and if a new person comes in and his data is like this, that I can put a spot here. So it is relating to this red more closely, right? Now, if I put a dot here, now this new data, new student is resonating more closely to this class. So it will lie in the pass category. Now, if I increase the K value, see what happens. If the K value is 4. So now what is happening? Each data point, you can see this red data point, it is now being compared with the 4 other data points. So what is K? K is, for example, I have a class of 50 students. I need to see that new student is a sincere or not. So I will only look for the 4 students जिसके साथ वो रहता है पूरा दिन, right? I won't see the whole class in that case. So here, to see in which class the new data point lies, we see the closest point. And how many closest point we see? That is decided by the value of K. So if the value of K is 4, so 4 closest point. If the value of K is 3, then 3 closest points, right? So this is how your KNN works. So if you have done, mention done in the chat. If you are done, mention done in the chat fast. Omkar, done. Okay, done. Gauri also done. Great, great. Okay, so this is what we just discussed in the model right now. That if the 4 students are passed or failed, what do you think? This new student will pass or fail based on the data of the first 4? Mention in the chat. What do you think? The student will pass or fail? Okay, one answer, pass, pass. Okay, pass. Okay, great observation. So if I plot this points on the graph, it would look like this. Now what I would see, this point, this new point is closest to which of the 2 or 3 points? So it is closest to C, B and D, right? So we have majority as blue ones. So we can say that this new candidate would be as past candidate. So this is how KNN as nearest neighbor work. Okay. So let's move on to the last activity for today. As I said, we would build a model with no code purely, scan this QR code, and once done, you will land on a page where you can download this application. I will show you the demonstration because I have already downloaded it. You can keep that on download, and once done, you can follow the same. So you can scan the QR code and download the same. Done, scanned. Okay, let me show you on my screen now. Let me share it. Okay. Okay, so everyone, if the application is visible to you, mention visible in the chat so that I know it is visible to you. You can download. Ruturaj, you can download. I will share the link also with you. Can you all see the screen? Visible. Okay, thank you for confirming. So see what happens here. This is an amazing application. On the left, you can see you have data. You can transform that data by only dragging and dropping, no manual coding needed. If in case you want to draw graphs, that also you have to only drag and drop, right? If you want to draw a model, which we discussed, that also you can do by only dragging and dropping. So we will draw the 2 models which we have just seen. So first I would select a data set, that is on which data I want to build the model, right? Then to see that data set, I would drag and drop the data table. Just see carefully how I am doing so that it's very easy for you to understand and implement. Then I would go in the transform and select and drag and drop the select columns. What is the select columns used for? In the previous session, you might remember, as you remember the other things also, that your data set is divided into two sets, training and testing, right? So, for example, when you prepare for the exam, your question and answer given by your teacher or the textbooks given is the training part, right? When you appear for the exam, that is your testing part. So whenever we are building a model also, we have two things like training and testing. Okay. So after this, we will have our model. So which models we studied? We studied two models, right? So we had logistic regression, then we had KNN. So I have dragged and dropped this. Now, whenever we build any model, at the end, what we have is the testing. I want to see how much accurate my model is, right? Testing, and then we will do the prediction. Just till now, I have dragged and dropped the elements. I have not done anything extra. Now, what we will do in this? See how easy it is and how simple it is. I would only connect it. I will drag and drop connected. I will drag and drop connected. Isn't it amazing that only I am dragging and dropping, it is automatically getting connected. See, now your model is built. Your model is built. See, what did we just do? We did nothing. We just did drag and drop, nothing else. Now, if you see here, I have not selected any data for now. If you want, you can upload your data also. But if you double click on this data set, see, we have n number of data here already present in this application. So you can select smoking effect data, BBC3, breast cancer data, or Titanic data. Let's choose Titanic data. I double click on it. It is selected. Now, if I would, now at the bottom, you can see one plus pause and play button. If I click on it, means your model has run. Now I will double click on the data table. So this is your data of Titanic, what it is. If the person has survived or not, if the person was of first class, second class, third class, or the crew member in the Titanic crash, or the person was adult or a child, or the person was male or the female. This is the data we have. And now what we are predicting in this, that if we have some new person, whether it survived or not, right? So we will cross it. Now here, one thing you need when you will be practicing, one thing to keep in mind, here it is mentioned selected data to data. So if I click on this line, see, what this is saying, that only selected data is transferred to the next part. But I want all the data, so I will drag and drop. You see how simple it is. I'm not writing any code. I'm not writing anything. I'm only dragging and dropping down, right? So now my model is built. Now if I double click on the text score, see, you will see the score for both the models on the screen. No need to worry what this is called as. This you will learn in the further classes. To simplify, this CA is your accuracy score. Means from logistic regression, you got the accuracy of 77%, and with the KNN, you got 37%. So what it means that for this data, logistic regression gave the better accuracy. So when you might have learned different models, you can compare the different models and see with which model you are getting the best accuracy, right? So isn't it, and when you double click on prediction, you can see what prediction was done with KNN, what prediction was done with the logistic regression. So this is how your you can build a model on your own without any code, right? So let's get back. So anyone who has anyone who has tried it and downloading is done, mention in the chat if you have completed the downloading part or tried it. Let me see the chat. Okay, some of you said downloaded, done, done. Okay, great. Okay, so the ones who have not done with the downloading, you can download it and follow the same and try this application. This is very amazing for further also. Now we will have a last activity. We have learned two algorithms, logistic regression, which was probability based. We learned KNN, which was similarity based, similar neighbors, right? So I would be showing you the scenarios. You would be telling me, is it a probability based system or a similarity based? And very quick. Okay. So, first one, Netflix recommendation. Is it a probability based or a similarity based? Is it a probability based or similarity based? Okay, I got one answer as probability based, similarity based, mix, similarity, Moksha, great. Shivam, probability based, similarity, okay, okay, great. So let's see the answer. What we have here, it is similarity based. We see that you are from the group of people who watch horror movies or you are from the group of people who like comedy movies, and similar predictions you get and recommendations you get. So it is not probability, it is similarity. So the next on your screen, spam detection. Is it a probability based or similarity based? Okay, probability. Probability. Most of you are guessing it right. Probability. Okay, let's see the answer. Yes, it is probability based because if your spam probability is greater than the threshold, it would land in the spam folder. Otherwise, it would land in the inbox folder. Correct, everyone? Now, the last scenario, face unlock. This happens with us on daily basis. We wake up in the morning, we first of all look at our phones. We do the face unlock. So, is that a probability based or is that a similarity based? Okay, similarity. Okay, 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 okay. Okay, right. It is similarity based only because we have already saved our face while we were organizing our phone or when we purchased a new phone, and whenever we reopen our any device, phone, machine, laptop, it only sees that if our current face is matching with the face stored or not. If it does, it opens, right? Okay, great. So last quiz for you, scan this QR code and fill out the form, and once done, mention in the chat to see what you have grabbed from the session. Everyone, you can scan down the phone, scan down the QR code and mention in the chat once done. Okay, I got few done. Pausing for 30 seconds more. Fast everyone, scan it. It would take only 30 seconds. Okay, so I have received many of done. Okay, okay, so we have in the session gained understanding of supervised learning, and we saw that how logistic regression is purely probability based, how KNN uses similar data points, and what is the prediction, how your prediction works, how stocks price recommendation works, how your machines are understanding you in a so well mannered form. This we have uncovered. So thank you. This is from my side. So I'm open for your questions. If you have any queries, you can mention in the chat. Let me stop sharing the screen. If you have any questions, you can mention in the chat, everyone. Any questions? Curious to know to more algorithm? Shivam, you will be knowing it in the further classes. Be active and be attentive in the further classes. Okay. What else? Any questions? Okay. Great. Okay. So someone asked me that if we when we will have the manual coding session, you will have, and this is now the world is shifting. So learn how to build the models without coding because that is what the people around AI is doing. So have a AI oriented mindset now. Okay. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Have a nice day. Have a nice evening.